Hey Rebel Rouser, I'm Alan Voivod and this is Star Wars 7x7. So it's nice to be back with you after a weekend away. Yes, I did record a few of the previous episodes in advance, so now here we are back up to speed in real time, and I'm catching up on what happened with Solo: A Star Wars Story over the weekend, and unfortunately it was not what we would hope for. 29.3 million in weekend grosses, which bright side moment actually still makes it the #1 movie in America for the time being. Deadpool came in second, but bizarrely enough, Deadpool actually did better overseas this weekend than Solo: A Star Wars Story did. So here we are with a 10-day total, and this is including the Thursday previews, of just shy of 150 million domestic, another 115 million global, so we're looking at just under 265 million total. Man, there used to be a time when that was awesome. But, not so much. Not when you're looking at, 2 billion, 1.1 billion, 1.3 billion. I mean, yeah, it's a lot to live up to be sure. So here we go. All the flop headlines and whatnot, and it gets a little harder to defend the idea of it not being a flop per se, and certainly not when you have the last 3 movies performing the way that they did. Well, yeah, there you go. And the craziest thing about it is that because of the fact that I do a Star Wars podcast, people know that I happen to talk about Star Wars a lot, and they like to share their opinion with me about Star Wars stuff. Personally, to my face, for everybody that I've talked to about this movie, and I gotta tell you, people are not shy about saying they didn't like something if they didn't like something, even talking to me in person. But the lion's share of people who I've talked to about Solo: A Star Wars Story have absolutely raved about it. Have said it was fun, it was exciting, that they enjoyed Alden Ehrenreich's performance, that the whole thing was a great time at the movies. And it's just so bizarre to have this experience, to see how Solo is doing at the box office, and the cognitive dissonance of that compared to the feedback that I'm getting from people that I talk to saying, yeah, we loved it, yeah, it was great. Now, there is naturally a vocal minority of folks who are calling for changes in creative direction at Lucasfilm and waving at Solo as only the most recent reason why that needs to happen. And when you throw names at the whole thing, of course, it's Rian Johnson and Kathleen Kennedy that get thrown at it. And, Rian Johnson didn't have anything to do with Solo: A Star Wars Story. So why he's getting dragged in is, of course, because of that vocal reaction over The Last Jedi. So to everybody who's saying, oh yeah, Kathleen Kennedy needs to be removed, well, A, no, and B, not going to happen for quite a while at least. I mean, when you think about the fact that A, she's got 4 Star Wars movies under her belt and 3 of them grossed over $1 billion, well, yeah, there's no reason to show her the door for any reason at all. Second of all, she's got a tremendous track record even before she took over as president of Lucasfilm. So I mean, I think the deal is she's like the #3 producer of all time in terms of box office revenue. So again, not going anywhere anytime soon. Another bit of evidence. When you think about the comparative of the DC Extended Universe, well, how many movies did it take until they showed Zack Snyder the door? It took 4 of them, specifically Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, and Suicide Squad, and then Justice League. I mean, that's, 4 big movies that all did badly. And so that was what it took to get somebody out the door. So you're talking about doing something like that to say to Kathleen Kennedy, hey, maybe not anymore. And we are nowhere near that. Now, there are some folks who have even been commenting on the YouTube channel saying, well, get with the picture. This is the first one, and this is how it's going to go. And The Last Jedi was only, the first one really, and Solo's the second one, and it's all going to come down. And I don't see it. I don't see it happening. Kathleen Kennedy has too much of a successful track record to ignore, and we've got J.J. Abrams directing Episode 9 and co-writing it again. So I don't see how this ends badly for Kathleen Kennedy whatsoever. And as far as theories about whether that vocal minority of people that hated The Last Jedi, whether they're actually the ones who are doing the damage to Solo: A Star Wars Story, well, I'm going to address that straight head on tomorrow's podcast. I've been talking around it a little bit, but we're just going to go right into the teeth of it tomorrow. For today, though, that is going to do it for the show. And over on the audio version of the podcast at sw7x7.com/iTunes or wherever you like to listen to podcasts, I'll be doing Last Jedi trivia there. So do check that out. But for now, it just remains for me to say thank you so much for watching, and may the Force be with you wherever in the world you may be.